You guys really left me behind? When we arrived in Florida, our group chat was filled with messages from Karen. Well, don't say that we didn't warn you. Hey, where are you now? We're all waiting for you. I'm at home. Did we have plans today? You were the one that said you wanted to go to the buffet. We had a group of mom friends, and one of the mothers named Karen was always like this. She would always flake out on scheduled meetings or come late. She was just so unorganized and never even seemed sorry about it. Oh, I've never seen her apologize, so gradually we all stopped inviting her. But Karen was too dull to get the message and would barge in on us as usual whenever she saw us. That day we were at the park and she invaded our conversation as usual. I heard you started a part-time job, Allison. How much does it pay? $15 an hour. Nice! Well, if you can do it, I'm sure it's an easy job. Introduce me, will you? But you're always late on time, Karen. I don't think that'll fly in the workplace. How rude! I have experience in the real world too, you know. The 4 years that I worked, I was never late. Come on, please. I refused, but she kept messaging me about it. When I ignored her, she waited for me to go to work and tried to follow me there. I finally gave up and talked to my boss, who agreed to schedule an interview. I called Karen and told her. Yay! She sounded excited. Well, she did say that she had experience, so I'm sure it'll be fine. So I gave her the day and time of the interview, but I was way too naive.
Where's your friend? It's been over an hour.
I'm so sorry, sir. I'm trying to call, but she won't answer. Karen flaked out on the interview, and I was labeled as the woman with worthless friends. People gave me weird stares at work after that. Why didn't you show up? You still haven't even read my text messages. Oh, my bad. I was doing my makeup and it took longer than I thought. I was like 5 minutes late already, and then I suddenly lost interest. You told me you'd never been late to work. I trusted you. But your office is so far, Allison. You can't blame me, right? What do you mean? It's like a 5-minute bike ride. Well, you know, my last job was at an office in my parents' house, so it was like 5 seconds. Compared to that, it's so far. Oh, how unfortunate. Ugh, you know what's unfortunate? Your brain, and I'm the one who has to take all the blame at work. I deeply regretted it, but the damage was already done. All I could do was work as hard as possible and work overtime to rebuild the trust that I had lost. Thankfully, I had always been a diligent worker, so my boss quickly understood the situation and sympathized with me and went easy on me.
I feel bad for you too. I know how bad it sucks to have terrible friends.
Thank God. I finally calmed down, and my life went back to normal. But Karen just came back to push my buttons again. Hey, I heard you guys are going to Disney World. I want to go too. So does Tommy. Take us with you. I don't know where she got that information, but she somehow found out about our plans to go to Disney World and tried to invite herself. We're taking a plane and we're getting the cheapest tickets possible. Yeah, that's a good idea. Those cheap tickets can't be canceled or changed. If you're late, you won't receive a refund, you know? Why are you guys talking like it's going to happen? How rude. Well, you're always late, Karen. It's not gonna fly this time. I'll be there on time for sure. I have a good idea. Call me that morning so I'm not late. Oh my gosh, grow up. We ended up including Karen. The thing is, Karen was irresponsible like that, but her son, Tommy, was a nice boy. And all the kids begged us to take him with us too. So we agreed after reminding Karen multiple times that we would leave her behind if she was late. So what happened the day of the flight? You guessed it. As expected, she didn't show up at the airport in the morning. Where are you? They're boarding soon. Wait up, I'm about to get on the train. Of course we can't wait for you. We told you many times that this ticket can't be canceled or changed, right? We're getting on. I'm here. Where are you guys? Did you guys really leave without me? No way! When we arrived in Florida, our group chat was filled with messages from Karen. Well, don't say that we didn't warn you. We just sent her a message saying that we did exactly as promised and we stopped checking our messages. After enjoying the day at Disney World, I checked the group chat. After a couple pages of derogatory messages, she left a final message saying that she was heading home. Hey, we're back. Here are some gifts for Tommy. This is the character he likes, right? What the hell? Are you trying to rub it in my face? Well, I'm not here just to give you the gifts. My main reason is to get the cancellation fee for the hotels.
Huh? You're trying to charge me even though I didn't even go? That just makes no sense!
No matter how many times I tried to explain about the cancellation fees, Karen didn't pay up. As a matter of fact, she started saying that she was going to sue me for fraud. We were talking in circles, so I just left the gifts and called it a day. What a mistake. I should have waited for her husband to get back and explain directly to him what happened and ask for the money. I wasn't there that day, but her husband came stomping into the park the next day. Apparently, he was furious.
Not only did you guys leave my wife out, but you guys are trying to charge her money?
I'm sure Karen just explained the parts that were convenient to her. So, what to do next? We all gathered together to make a plan. The thing is, besides the cancellation fees from our trip to Florida, she still owed us money for canceled lunches, movie tickets that she flaked out on, and so on. Fortunately, we had her landline number, so I called at a time that her husband would pick up and told him that we would stop by the following day for a discussion. Good evening. We're here for the discussion.
What time do you think it is right now? You said that you would be here at 7 p.m. It's 9 p.m. right now, and you didn't even think to call? Do you have any common sense?
Oh, I'm sorry. It's just that Karen is usually about this late, so I thought this was normal at your household, and we acted accordingly. Yeah, she's always at least 1 hour late. Were you not aware, sir? See here, she's late for lunches and even the discussion about the school fair. I showed Karen's husband our group chat, and he gradually lost his initial momentum, so we proceeded to tell him about all the unpaid fees that she owed us.
Hey, what the hell is this, Karen?
Oh, it takes time for a girl to get ready, like makeup and clothes.
Not at the expense of others. Hold on. You told me that everyone lied to you about the flight time to Florida. But you were just late?
Exactly, sir. We responded in sync, and Karen's husband just dropped his shoulders in disbelief. He walked back to the living room in silence and came back with his wallet.
I hope this covers all the money she owes you. Whatever's left, please spend it on coffee or something.
That's gonna be one expensive cup of coffee. He handed us much more than we expected. Karen noticed he had handed us an incredible amount and seemed angry.
Why are you handing them so much?
Shut up and apologize to these ladies.
No way! They don't deserve an apology. They're just closed-minded, unforgiving people. Kenny never gets mad at me when I'm... Ugh!
Who the hell is Kenny? We were all just thinking the same thing. Karen just turned pale and started fidgeting, and we all knew what was up.
Karen, are you cheating on me?
No. Kenny is, the name of my parents' neighbor's dog. You remember him, right?
I think we should go back inside and talk. Sorry, you guys, but can we be finished here, please?
Yeah, sure. Well then, maybe we'll see you again.
We didn't. That was the last time we ever saw Karen. As everyone there assumed, Karen was in fact having an affair, and most of her being late or flaking out was because she was meeting with her boyfriend. We met her husband at school after that. He looked quite fatigued.
I took custody of Tommy. Please, continue to play with him.
We all felt bad for him, but at the same time, we figured that it was best that he found out sooner rather than later that he was living with a cheater. Tommy was a cool kid, and he continues to come to school enthusiastically as ever, even without his mom at home. He was often late to school because of Karen, but now he was there on time thanks to his father. And I would go as far as to say he looks like he's in even better shape than before. I think we all learned that irresponsible behavior just comes around to bite you in the ass.
What are you doing, Julia? Didn't I tell you that we're almost out of toilet paper? Drive me to the store right now! That lady yelling by the front door is my mother-in-law, Karen. She always listens to all the gossip in the neighborhood and believes it all. That's fine, but it's pretty annoying how she ordered me around to do things her way, depending on the rumors in town. Julia didn't drive me to the store, so I had to ride my bike all the way down there. Don't you think that's so mean?
Come on, Julia. Be nicer to Mom. The least you can do is give her a ride.
Today, Trisha had an appointment to get her vaccines. I can't just change my schedule on a whim like that. Oh, you're so inconsiderate. Karen wouldn't leave me alone, so I took my daughter, Trisha, and went to the bedroom. My husband, Jordan, came running after me.
I know it's not easy to get along with Mom, but can you try?
Jordan was soft-spoken, so he always got caught in between me and his mother. I felt bad for his position, so I tried my best not to make a big scene. One such day, Julia, can you give me Trisha's heart? What? It was such an unexpected request that all I could do was stare blankly at her. Karen started getting upset. Oh, you idiot! I'm asking you to donate Trisha's heart to me. Wait, hold on. What do you need Trisha's heart for? I mean, who needs it? Erica. Erica? Why does she need Trisha's heart? How dull are you? I'm telling you to donate the heart to Erica's baby. Erica is my sister-in-law. She had been trying to get pregnant for a while, and I remember her telling me recently how happy she was that she was finally pregnant. Erica says that her baby has heart issues. The only way for the baby to survive is to find a heart donor. You know how long and hard she worked for this baby. Don't make her give it up. Give us Trisha's heart. Do you know what you're asking right now, Karen? Every person only has one heart, and if you take it out, you die. It can't be helped. This is all for Erica's baby. You're her mother, so you need to convince Trisha to give up her heart. Oh my gosh, that's enough! I grabbed Trisha and drove off. As I drove towards my parents' house, the thought of how cold-hearted my mother-in-law was towards my daughter made me cry. A while after I arrived at my parents' house, I got a call from Jordan.
Did you talk to Mom? Don't be mad. Just come home.
Did she even tell you what we argued about?
Huh? Yeah, about Trisha's heart, right?
You know all of that, and you're still trying to convince me to come home? Did you even scold her for what she said? How unbelievable! Don't tell me that you're on your mother's side of this.
No, of course not. She wasn't serious, Julia. Maybe my sister was looking for some comfort in knowing that there was a donor.
I just hung up the phone. I understood that he didn't want to upset his mother, but this was no situation to be taking her side. My anger wouldn't settle, so the next day I left Trisha with my parents to make a visit. Oh, Julia, hello. What's with the scary face? I just want you to know that I will never give you Trisha's heart, Erica. What? What are you talking about, Julia? That's weird. She seems completely clueless. As I explained what had happened, I could tell that my sister-in-law's face was turning paler by the second. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry about my mother. I told her that we'll find out after the next ultrasound examination whether or not my baby has heart deficiencies. That's all. The doctor told me that everything looks good so far, and I told her that she has nothing to worry about. Knowing her, she must have just misunderstood me and gotten the impression that there was a deficiency found. I'm so sorry for the misunderstanding, Julia. Oh, she looked like she was about to cry, and I started feeling bad for her. I should have known. Erica was such a kind soul. I sometimes wondered how she could be related to Karen. Even if her baby was to have a heart problem, she definitely wasn't the type of person who would ask for my daughter's heart. I'm sorry, too. I know it's a delicate time for you, and I should have been more thoughtful. It's Karen that I'm mad at. I'm going to go talk to her. I clenched my fist, prepared to fight, but for some reason, Erica stopped me. A pep talk won't cure her. We have to make her regret what she said more deeply. Deeply? What do you mean? I have a good idea. Her idea was a shocking one. Something you'd never expect from a cute and gentle sister-in-law like her. I trembled as I agreed to her idea and left her place. That night, I called Jordan over to my parents' house. It's time for you to make a choice.
Huh? What's with the scary look?
You can either cooperate and avoid it, or you can stand by your mother as you divorce me. Your choice.
Divorce? No way. I love you, Julia. And Trisha. Forgive me. I don't want you guys to leave me. But you also have to understand that my mother doesn't have bad intentions.
I don't buy that. She's the kind of person to try to convince me to sacrifice our daughter's life. I'm going to get my revenge, and I'd like you to cooperate with me.
Revenge? Don't say something scary like that.
If you won't help me, we're done. You'll never see me again. Now choose.
After thinking about it for a while, Jordan agreed to cooperate with me. It wasn't encouraging that he even had to think about it, but whatever.
First things first, revenge. We decided to strike on the weekend. Are we there yet? How far is the gossip restaurant?
Almost there.
We were driving through the mountains. I'm sorry for leaving to go to my parents' place for so long. As an apology, I'd like to invite you to a delicious restaurant. That was my excuse to get her out of the house. Of course, my apology was just an act, but my true objective was revenge. We continued to drive up the mountain, and once we got deep into the mountains where there was no one else around, Jordan hailed the car to stop.
What are we stopping here for? I don't see a restaurant anywhere. As a matter of fact, I don't see anything, period. Ready, Jordan?
Yeah, Mom. Sorry about this.
Huh? What's with the scary look on your faces? Wait, what is that in your hand? Stop!
In our hands were a rope and scalpel. Seeing us closing in on her, Karen jumped out of the car and started running down the mountain. Karen, I just can't give you Trisha's heart.
But we do have to save Erica's baby. So, Mom, give us your heart.
No, you're joking, right? Stop!
This isn't a joke. The doctor told us that an adult heart will do. So, Karen, are you ready? We're too deep in the mountains to call for help.
No, I don't want to die. I'll never give you my heart. Help!
Karen tripped and fell and was covered in mud. I just laughed at her pathetic sight. Why not, Karen? Don't you care about your daughter's baby? Or do you care about yourself the most?
Mom, I thought you would willingly give up your heart for Erica's baby. I'm so disappointed in you.
What is this? Some kind of sick joke?
We were just acting, and don't worry, the scalpel is made from cardboard. But we did get all of that on camera. That's the proof you care more about your life than your grandchild's life. After saying that, I got back into the car.
Huh? Hey, Julia, take me home too!
Just walk straight. You'll get home sooner or later. You'll get service too if you walk for a bit. Have fun coming home, you two.
Come back here, you bitch!
Julia! Please, take me with you! I'm sorry for everything!
I could hear their screams and yells echoing for a while, but I ignored it and kept driving. There weren't any threatening predators in the area, and they'll be able to make it down the mountain in a couple of hours. Hey, if they're lucky, they might get picked up by someone passing by. They finally made it home past midnight. They must have been too tired to even complain. They just crumbled over by the entrance and were speechless.
Welcome home! Are you kidding me? I'll never forgive you! Huh?
My screaming mother-in-law stopped mid-sentence. There, standing in front of her, was her husband, Roger. He was overseas for work from a while, but Erica had called him and he came flying back.
I heard about everything. You asked Julia to give Trisha's heart up? I can't believe that you would tell our granddaughter to die.
Hey now, honey. Don't be like that. I've had a change of heart. You forgive me too, right, Julia? Oh, forgive me.
What kind of way to ask for forgiveness is that?
Roger was never able to forgive Karen and ended up filing for divorce.
She can take the house. You guys find yourself somewhere else to live, Julia.
We left Karen there and moved into a new apartment.
I'm so sorry for everything. I thought that if I just listened to my mom, things would go smoothly. It was a big mistake on my part. You guys will be top priority from now on.
Jordan seemed sorry, so I decided to forgive him. I know that he's not a bad person deep down, and I hope to get along with him and lead a happy life. Oh yeah, so you guys are wondering what happened to Karen, aren't you? Well, she did get the house, but she became the talk of the town and she seems very uncomfortable. Of course, we stay away from her, but Erica doesn't contact her anymore either. And she hasn't met her new grandchild yet and probably never will. It serves her right, though. I've learned a lot from her bad example, and I hope to avoid becoming an old lady like her.
It's so late, but I better finish this up. My name is Eugene. I'm a programmer. I worked for a well-known, decent-sized company, but I was working so late every day. I barely got any days off, and I even had a hard time finding time to go home. I worked so much until one day, I passed out. Huh? Where am I?
Oh, Eugene, are you okay?
I woke up to find out that I was overworking myself so much that I'd almost died. I felt like my life was in danger, so I quit my job and stayed at home.
Make sure you eat. I'll leave you some food, okay?
You're welcome to stay with us as long as you want. Okay, Eugene?
My parents were very nice to me, and it encouraged me to start my career as a freelance programmer from home. Thanks to that exploitative company that I was at before, I had brushed up my programming skills, so I was able to get good paying job offers right away. Mom, Dad, I know this isn't much, but I want you to have this.
Oh, how nice of you. I'm so proud of you, dear.
Well done, son. You're even making more money than me already.
Oh, honey, don't be jealous.
As a sign of gratitude, I was paying my parents $2,000 as rent each month. My father seemed a little upset that I was making more money than him, but I know that he's actually very proud of me. Finally, I was living a peaceful life on my own terms. That's what I thought, until my sister came back home. Brianna had gotten married to some handsome nightclub worker against my parents' will, and she had been dumped and came crying back home.
I'm so hurt. I'll never fall in love again.
Marrying that guy was a big mistake. Forget about getting married. You can stay here and live with us.
I knew that Brianna had been dumped because she was having affairs, but seeing her act like a victim in front of my parents was a testament to how good of an actor she was. My mother seemed to notice that something didn't smell right, but my father loved Brianna, and he pushed to let Brianna back into the house. She was harmless at first, but as soon as she found out that I didn't work for a company, she started acting arrogantly towards me.
Hey, you're unemployed, so you have time, right? Go buy me some ice cream.
No. I'm in the middle of an important job, so I can't move right now.
Oh, shut up. You're probably just playing video games, right? Hurry up.
Hey, what are you doing? My sister always had a temper towards me, and she used to break my toys all the time. But when she destroyed my laptop with all my work in it, that was quite distressing, to say the least. I used a backup computer to try to retrieve as much data as I could, and spent all night trying to catch up. But I couldn't finish the job in time, and I had to call my client and apologize many times. Thankfully, he didn't cut me off, but if this kind of thing kept happening, I would soon be out of work. I needed a way to control my sister. So, I gave in like a slave for a while and bought her gifts like handbags and shoes. But that just made her even more arrogant. She started begging my parents for expensive things as well.
Dad, I want to get a facial. It's for me to shine as a woman. You understand, don't you?
I see. Anything for my sweet Brianna.
Yay! Thanks, Dad. Love ya.
Brianna completely took advantage of my father's love for her. My mom and I tried warning him about it, but he wouldn't listen. And soon enough, Brianna's room was filled with high-end brand bags and coats, and her collection just kept getting bigger each month.
All right, see you guys. Have fun. Don't forget those gifts I asked you for.
Of course not, sweetie.
My parents had been waiting for a long time to go on this vacation overseas together. It sucked that I was going to be stuck at home with Brianna, but my parents deserved that time to themselves. 1 week, just 1 week. When I tried exiting the bathroom, the door wouldn't budge. It felt like there was something heavy on the other side of the door. Hey, Brianna, help me out, the door won't open.
This is your punishment for being an unemployed piece of trash. Since Dad and Mom spoil you, I'll fix you. All right, come in, you guys.
Not only did she trap me in the bathroom, but she called up a moving company to take all of my belongings out of my room. By the time I got out of the bathroom, my room was completely empty, and I was at a loss for words.
Hey, where did you put my things? I have work that I need to do today.
You're right. You're unemployed. You don't have any work. How nice of me to help you learn how to stand on your own 2 feet, right?
She handed me an envelope with a bunch of electricity bills and unpaid rent.
Everything was addressed to Brianna's old house, where she used to live with that nightclub worker.
Can I get a thank you, Brianna?
I was ready to punch her in the face. But more importantly, I had to get my work equipment back so I could turn in my work to my clients in time. I was furious as I hurried over to my sister's old apartment. What the hell? It was my first time seeing her room, but it was in an old rundown apartment like something you'd see in a horror film. And the room was filled with empty bottles and all kinds of trash. There, in the middle of the room, were boxes placed randomly with all my things in them. She's not gonna get away with this. Hello, Mom? I called my parents up and reported to them what had just happened. My father didn't believe me at first, but my mother and I convinced him that I was telling the truth. And they both ended up agreeing to help me plan a revenge attack on my sister. We're back!
Hi, honey.
When they arrived home a week later, Brianna was sitting there with an irresponsible-looking boy named Charlie.
Hey, guys. I'd like you to meet my new boyfriend, Charlie.
Sup, nice to meet you. Hey, where's Eugene?
Eugene? Oh, that unemployed piece of trash. I got rid of him for you. I know it must be hard to take care of a bum who just eats and sleeps all day. But don't worry. I haven't heard from him since, so I'm sure he's doing just fine on his own. Yeah, you're right. It's hard for us to take care of someone who doesn't even work. Right, honey?
Yeah, I guess. So then, you guys can pay for rent instead of Eugene.
Rent? Sure. You want a back massage or something?
$2,000. That's how much Eugene was paying us every month.
No way, what a lie! There's no way that bum has so much money.
Shut up! Without Eugene here, there's no way I can pay for you. I'm almost 60, you know.
That night, I got a million missed calls from Brianna, but I ignored them all. It seems like she even came to the apartment, but I had already found a place that I could move into and the place was empty. I heard she was knocking on the door all night. It was fun to watch my sister's life fall apart from there.
Dad, I'm hungry.
When was the last time you paid me any rent or money for food? I don't have anything to feed you.
My father was always a strict man, so it was natural for him to be harsh as soon as he woke up to Brianna's true colors. He put locks on the fridge so Brianna and her boyfriend couldn't steal food. And every time she tried to leave her room, he would tell her to get a job and pay him rent. Her boyfriend couldn't handle that environment and evaporated quickly. All Brianna could do now was beg my father for help.
Daddy, I haven't eaten anything for 4 days. Please help me.
So, are you ready to pay rent then?
I can't. I have no money.
Okay then, I guess I'll have to collect some other way. Here, have some food for now.
Hooray! Thanks, Dad.
The next day, my sister was relaxing in her room when my father entered with a man from a pawn shop. He had the man take all of Brianna's designer brand items.
Hey, what are you doing, Dad?
I am collecting. So, how much does this come out to?
Well, they aren't in very good condition, but there's quite an amount. So, what do you say, $2,000?
Okay then. Good for you, Brianna. There's 1 month worth of rent.
That would have been a good time to change her ways, but Brianna must have really not wanted to work. She started going out into the city to hit on rich-looking men. She was pretty good-looking, but she wasn't that young anymore. And she didn't have all of her lavish clothes anymore, so she had no luck.
Hey, babe, wanna go out? Hey, don't ignore me! Oh, hello, sexy man. I'd love to have some steak tonight. Why do I always have to be treated this badly?
Brianna never found a job after that and had no money to pay rent, so all she gets is a bowl of rice and a cup of beans that she hates every day. Do you think she learned her lesson yet? I tried calling my father one day, but he felt responsible that Brianna had become such a spoiled brat.
She's my daughter still. I'll do everything I can to fix her. I hope that she can become a caring son like you someday. Speaking of which, when are you planning on getting married, Eugene? I'm ready to meet my grandchild.
Yeah, you're right. Now that I'm back on my feet, I'll start looking for someone nice.
Good to hear. Let me know if there's any good news.
Someone nice, huh? Better avoid a situation like Brianna's. I'm not sure if I'll be able to get married right away, but I've never even had a girlfriend, so I might as well try. But I better do something about this belly first.
I'm Alec. These are my brothers, Bob and Corey. But we're not actually related. My parents died in a car accident. But the house was already paid for, and I inherited some insurance money. So I was planning to live by myself after the accident. But my relatives wouldn't allow it. So I started living with one of my distant relatives. I wish I hadn't. I should have lived by myself, no matter what the relatives said. Alex, are you done eating?
If you are, then go back to your room.
Huh? I only ate the pasta. You've had enough. Go. Mom, I want some fruits and ice cream.
Okay, dear.
They treated me like crap. My new parents were pretty mean, but Bob, the older brother, was even worse. Bob, what the hell did you do to my pencil case? Didn't see it there. I sat on it and it broke. I never put it there. You did it on purpose. Ugh, Alex is mad again. Oh no! He was a jerk about it. Then he told on his mom like I was in the bad. Luckily, Corey wasn't like him. He actually felt bad for me, but if he was nice to me in front of them, he'd be ridiculed too, so he didn't really show it. You must be hungry, dude. Here, they don't even give you an allowance, right? Corey, thanks, man. After dinner, I went back to my room and crawled into bed, crying. I was starving. That's when Corey came in and brought me some snacks. I cried. He apologized to me about his parents being so mean. Let me know if there's anything I can do to help. Can't really act nice in front of them, but I'll do what I can. Thanks, man. I really appreciate that. But I was constantly broke, so I started working at a restaurant without telling them. Why a restaurant? Because they also served me dinner after work. But as I started working there, I realized that cooking was pretty fun. I got hooked on it in no time. With the money I made, I bought a book on cooking. I read it over and over again in my room. Then, hey, the grass in the backyard is out of control. Go mow the lawn. What are you doing with a book? You don't need that. Hey, stop! My stepdad came into my room, took my book and ripped it into pieces. They won't even let me study? Ever since that day, I stopped going home. I went to work right after school, then spent the nights at a 24-hour diner reading books on cooking. When I didn't have work, I went to the library to read. When I was reading about cooking, I was able to forget about my abusive step-parents. Cooking was the only thing that gave me pleasure in life. One day, I'm home. Where is everyone? I went back home to get a few things, but the house was dark and nobody was home. I looked all over the place, but nothing. What's going on? I found a note on the living room table. The note read, "On vacation, be back in a week." It was Corey's handwriting. Looks like he was in a hurry. I think my step-parents and Bob were planning a trip. They didn't want to take me, so they probably didn't tell Corey until the very last minute. But why would I want to go on vacation with them anyways? But still, that hurt. I went to the store and got some food and drinks. Usually, I don't get to eat and chill in the living room. But today, there was no one around. The house was quiet, and nobody was there to bother me. I thought I wanted this, but I couldn't stop crying for some reason. You should go live on your own, man. Here, take this. Sorry about everything. When they came back and saw me, they barely noticed me. As for Bob, he told me, "I thought you were dead." Then, Corey came to my room that night looking upset. He handed me an envelope. What's this? $7,000, cash. I've been meaning to give it to you. What? But this is your money. I can't take this. I wish I could have done more for you, man. And about the vacation, I'm sorry. Just take it, please. He started crying. I had no idea why he was doing this for me. Does he feel bad for me? Or is he ashamed of his family? We hugged it out and cried for a bit longer. After high school, I left the house. Corey knew about my interest in cooking. I know this guy who runs a restaurant. I talked to him and he says he's happy to have you. He even hooked me up with a job, and the restaurant was something else. It was so sophisticated. I couldn't believe that I was working at such a place. Work was tough, but everyone there knew about my situation. they were all really nice to me. I worked hard day in and day out. They didn't let me cook for a year, but being around professionals like them was more than enough for me. Soon, they started letting me make the meals for the employees. Then, I started helping them with the actual meals for the customers. Soon, I was responsible for all kinds of stuff, including menus and inventory. This is delicious, Alex! Thanks, man. It's all thanks to you. 7 years went by since I left my step-parents' house. We never talked, but I kept in touch with Corey. One day, he came over to the restaurant. He loved my cooking, and I was so happy to see him. But, not sure if this is the right time to say this, but you might want to watch out. Huh? Bob. He quit his job, and now he's a shut-in. I think Mom wants us to help them financially. What? Bob, the spoiled older brother, started working after college but quit after a year. He was a shut-in now. He was abusive to his parents and constantly asked them for money. Corey was out of the house and he lived on his own, so I didn't think it was going to be a problem. But he came to warn me anyways. But then, they found me. There you are.
We raised you, now pay us back! Money! We need money!
We hired a detective to find you. You owe us for that, too. When I stepped out of the restaurant, I thought I saw 2 pigs. But actually, they were my step-parents. They started yelling and screaming in front of the restaurant. Who are you guys? You don't even remember your own father?
I'm your mother!
No. My dad passed away. And Mom, too.
Oh, shut up already! Money! Give us money! You work, right? Hand it over!
People were gathering around us, trying to see what was going on. I couldn't help but smile. I decided to get some things off my chest. Fine. You want money? Okay.
Really?
Alright then, just hand over what you have now and I'll give you enough to buy some bread. No snacks though, and no luxury items either. And what was that thing you told me when I was a kid? I remember. No juice for you. Drink tap water. So no money for soda or beer either. What?
We raised you!
Are you serious? You guys didn't raise me. Not only that, you guys stole my dad's insurance money. I don't owe you guys anything. Get the hell out of my face! I did some research when I left their house. Turns out that they stole my dad's insurance money. It was completely gone by the time I was old enough to leave them. But they did provide food and shelter, so I let it go. But now, this? They have to be kidding me! My stepdad lost it and attacked me. But I stepped back and he fell to the ground. I said bye and left them there. Don't know what happened after that. But a few days later, I heard about what happened. Good job! Where did you hear that? I went back to the house to get a few things, and Mom was crying. She never cries. She can cry? I never knew that. Turns out one of the board members at my dad's company was in the crowd that night. He asked him if what you said that night was true, and Dad, he's not a very good liar, and he cracks easily under pressure. Basically, they found out everything, and they transferred him to some dead-end position. Damn. A month later, I passed by their house. The house was up for sale. Corey told me that things weren't going well for them. My stepdad got sick from all the stress at work. My stepmom now had a shut-in son and a sick husband, and she started losing her mind. And then she got sick too from years of bad diet. Glad I got out of there in time, and as long as Corey is doing well, I could care less about them. Mom, Dad, hope you're watching over us from heaven. Wish us luck.
Bob, I got you some cake.
Yay, my favorite!
Eat up. What are you looking at, Alex? I only got enough for him.
This fat lady here? That's my grandma. She lives with us. This handsome guy is my brother, Bob. My grandmother was so happy when I was born. But as soon as my brother, who was better looking than me, came into the picture, she stopped paying any attention to me. She spoiled him like crazy. She gave him an allowance. She bought everything he wanted for him. But that wasn't all. She would say mean things to me.
You're ugly. Ugh, get out of my sight.
But my parents couldn't say anything to her. Why? Simple. She was the one providing for this family. She started a company with her late husband, Their company was doing really well. She then invested all the money she made into stocks and real estate, which was also a big success. Once I saw her passbook, I've never seen so many digits in an account before. But needless to say, I never saw a dime of it. So she basically owned us. Dad couldn't say anything back to her, even when she treated me like crap right in front of him. Mom tried to defend me at first, but her family wasn't doing well, so Grandma was helping them out too. She couldn't really say much either.
Sorry, I can't do anything to help you, Alex. Here, take this.
But this is your allowance, Mom.
It's okay. It's not much, but take it.
She still helped me, but she did it under the table so Grandma wouldn't notice. But it meant a lot to me. She got me through some rough times. I was now a college student. After graduation, I was planning on leaving home and living on my own. One day, Allie, why are you with Bob?
Sorry, he bought me that bag I wanted. Plus, he's way better looking than you.
You heard her. Get lost. Bob stole my girlfriend. Treating me like crap at home was one thing, but now this? You're not getting away with this. I decided to get some revenge. But Bob was 2 steps ahead of me. He contacted my friends through Allie. He stole my friends from me too, using his money. He told them things like, "I'll take you guys out on vacation. You can ride in my limo." They couldn't resist. Soon, everyone started hanging out with Bob. I didn't have a friend in the world. Things got pretty rough for me. I started working longer hours when I didn't have class. I just want to get away from him. I have to leave this place. That's all I thought about.
If you need anything, you can call me, okay? You can always count on me. Okay, dear?
Thanks, Mom. You too, take care of yourself. I was a senior in college now. I had some money saved and I landed a solid job. I decided to leave home. I only told Mom about this. She didn't stop me. My friend, my only friend who stayed with me, helped me move my stuff out of the house. Things went smoothly thanks to him. I did everything while Grandma and Bob were out looking at boats. And so, I was finally free. The apartment was pretty small, and it got even smaller after I brought in my boxes. But it was so nice to have my own place. Every time I had friends over, my grandma said mean things to them as well. So I could barely have friends over at my old place. But now, I didn't have to worry about that. I could hang out with my friends at any time. It was so nice. Work was good too. They were really good to me. I'm so glad things worked out. Good thing I didn't give up. But then, about a year later.
Alex, where are you?
Mom, I'm home. What's the matter?
Run, now!
What? What are you talking about?
It's Bob. He's headed to your house. He's gonna try and take away your money. Get out while you still can.
Huh? Bob? Coming here to take my money? Bob, seriously. I had no idea what was going on. Then, the doorbell rang. It was him. I know you're in there. I saw Mom's address book. I know you're in there. Come out now. I thought about it for a long time. I ended up opening the door. I didn't want to bother my neighbors. Plus, I was curious about why he was suddenly broke. Money! Give me money! Chill out. You sound like a burglar. Someone's gonna call the cops on you. What? Come on, let me in! My neighbor was looking at us. She looked worried. I guess he saw that too. But we went into my room. What is all this? Why do you need money? You got Grandma. I got into an accident. The house is damaged, and so is the car. And she's been lying to us all along. She lost so much money. Here's what happened according to Bob. Grandma bought him a sports car, but he messed up and drove it into his house. He took out one of the walls, so they had to fix the house. But that's when he found out that Grandma barely had any savings. She lost a lot of money in stocks. She said after the car, she had no savings left. She was trying to act like a big shot. That's why she bought me that stupid car. I should have just taken the money. What a stupid hag. Are you serious? All these years you leached off of her, and now you're calling her names. Shut up! We need money to fix the house. Pay up, you have a job, right? Come on. I was at a loss for words. I told him I didn't keep that kind of cash in the house. I kicked him out of the house. Good thing I had a few pounds on him. I thought about my next move carefully. A few days later, hey, I brought you the money. I went to see them at their house. The wall was gone. I could see the sky from the living room.
You brought money?
Hurry up! Come on, I raised you. It's the least you can do.
Hurry up already. It shouldn't be too much. I'm sure even you can afford it.
Seriously? Wow. I had no idea what to say. I handed them the envelope I brought over. They jumped towards it and grabbed it. Grandma got to it first. She'd make a great beach flag player. I had no idea she could move that fast.
How did you?
She was pretty surprised. There was $30,000 in the envelope.
Do you rob a bank?
Bob seemed really surprised too. Shut up, dude. Grandma, you always treated me like crap. You always gave me orders. Do this, do that. And you were always trading stocks on your laptop, remember? Looking at that, I picked up a few things along the way. It didn't take long for me to learn how to trade stocks myself. She spoiled Bob and she never made him do anything. But she treated me like a servant. But at the same time, I watched her and taught myself how to trade stocks. I just started with $1,000 or something, but turns out I'm pretty good at this. I think I make more off of stocks than my real job. You can have that money, but I'm cutting ties with you. Never show yourself in front of me or my mom ever again. I walked out of there with my mom. Standing in front of the demolished wall, I laughed out loud and said, "That was just a small portion of what I made over the years. I still have a lot saved up. I got enough to help out your parents too. So, can we live together?" She was thinking about it for a while. But when I said to her, "Please?" she said yes and started crying. And so, I moved out of my apartment and started living with my mom and her parents at their house. My grandma on my mom's side was super nice to me, unlike the other one. She made my favorite food all the time, and they thanked me over and over again for the financial help. I felt so comfortable around them. Mom was looking better too. She smiles more often now. I'm so glad I made the decision to leave them for good. Oh, and as far as Bob and the others, they fixed the house with the money I gave them. But it didn't take long for them to run into more financial problems. Bob was a spending freak, and so was Grandma. Soon they were up to their necks in debt. They had to sell off the house. But the house was pretty damaged already, so they barely got anything for it. Today, they live in a small apartment together. I also heard that Grandma got dementia. Bob and Dad are constantly fighting about her now. Dad called my mom once asking for help, but he was the one who filed for divorce, so Mom wasn't willing to help.
Who is this?
She said and hung up. I rolled on the floor laughing. Good riddance. That's what you get for treating us like crap. Have fun being miserable. I'm so glad I never have to see them again. From now on, I'm just gonna appreciate what I have and be good to my loved ones.
My name is Sarah. I've been told that my mother screamed the moment she saw me.
She's so ugly, and she looks just like her. Why?
The woman that she was talking about was my mother's older sister, Aunt Meredith. Yeah, she may not have been beautiful, but she was very talented and had many friends. Apparently, my mother had always treated her badly and stopped caring about me because I reminded her of my aunt. So I was pretty much raised by my grandmother and Aunt Meredith. My next child would be cuter. And she immediately tried to have another child.
I knew that my second child would be adorable. This is how my family bloodline works. The eldest is ugly and the second child is beautiful. That's just how it is.
That makes no sense, but my younger sister Lisa, who was born a year later, was beautiful, just as my mother said. This is how my life as an ugly girl began. My father was a workaholic and barely existed. Ever since I could remember, I've been given shaggy clothes, no snacks, and pencils for my birthday. It was quite obvious that I was being discriminated against in my own house. But I was never the jealous type, so I persevered and tried to live an ordinary life. There was just one thing that I wasn't willing to give in to. Those are my tickets. Give them back. I had to line up from early in the morning for those.
No, let me go, please. Can I have these?
Ugh, fine. Take the tickets, but you have to pay me. I'm not paying for you too.
Oh, come on. You don't want to be ugly and a cheapskate, right? It's like a horrible combination. Oh, Mom, Sarah says I can't have these tickets. Tell her.
Your sister says she wants to go, so just give them to her. You're the older sister, right? No, I worked so hard to buy those tickets. You're spoiling her, Mom. You've never even given me an allowance, but you hand her so much money. Lisa's cute, so she needs a lot of clothes and makeup, all right? You're ugly, so you don't need all that money anyways. What kind of mom is this woman? I stole the tickets back while Lisa was asleep and kept them at my aunt's house, but still, the way they treated me was so mean. It made me cry. When I graduate high school, I'm out of here. I worked my ass off. But summer of my junior year, I discovered a new passion. We went on a field trip to a hydroponic farm, and I saw those beautiful tomatoes growing like jewels from the branches. The sight struck a chord in me, and I was immediately hooked. I want to make those too. I want to go to college and study agriculture. When I told my father that, he seemed uninterested.
Sure, whatever.
He kind of blew me off and went back to his room. That means yes, right? I was glad that my father agreed. When I told my mother, college, you say? Well, farming seems like a perfect fit for someone plain like you. But there's no need to go to college for that.
Yeah, if you go to college, our plans are ruined.
Your plans? Lisa wants to study abroad, but she's so pretty that I'm afraid of those boys in other countries. So I was going to go with her. That'll cost money, right? So we can't afford for you to go to college. Just give it up. What kind of plan is that? An ugly girl like you has no chance to have any fun in college. You'll regret it.
Yeah, introverts aren't fit to enjoy college life.
What the hell? That's not your problem. I ran crying over to my aunt's house. I was usually bubbly around her, so she was shocked to see me like that. When I explained what happened, she started getting furious. Don't you worry about it, Sarah. I'll pay for your education. I've always despised how they've treated you, and I've also always been so proud of how strong you've been, despite everything. If you don't want to just take the money, you can pay me back bit by bit after you graduate and start working. So for now, you let me worry about the money, and go after your dreams, Sarah. Her powerful words really touched me, and I sobbed for a while. So, after I graduated high school, I started living with Aunt Meredith and started going to college. It was so nice to be able to concentrate on something that I had a passion for. And there was no mother or Lisa here to bully me. And everything went smoothly. I was able to stretch my wings out. 3 years passed. Lisa is getting married. Huh? I couldn't hide my surprise. What happened to studying abroad? All that hype, and you haven't left the country a single time since. Plus, Lisa's still in her second year of college and just turned 20. What do you mean she's getting married? According to my mother, Lisa joined a foreign exchange club to gather information on studying abroad and met a guy named Eric there. He was a graduate, former member of that club, who was an elite businessman working for the gossip company now. I'm so proud of her for catching such a handsome man. That's my girl. You could have never pulled it off, Sarah. I mean, look at you. Did you come all the way over just to tell me that? Oh, one more thing. I just wanted to tell you not to attend the wedding. Huh? Why not? Well, you'd embarrass her if everyone found out she has an ugly older sister, right? If Eric finds out that Lisa has the same genes as you, he might try to call the wedding off. I've already told his parents that Lisa is an only child. So no matter what you do, don't show yourself. Even after they get married, all right? Your father is on board with my plan too. Not only did she not agree to let me go to college, but she's telling me not to go to my own sister's wedding? I wish she would have never had me. She's so mean. This is unbelievable. I cried for a while after my mother left. Aunt Meredith cried next to me too. But I was over it within a few days. My grief changed to anger as I looked back on my childhood days and realized how terribly she had treated me for all those years. My aunt felt the same as me. I want to get them back. Yeah, I was thinking the exact same thing. We formulated a plan. It was a simple plan, and many people quickly agreed to cooperate. So let me check one last time. I'm not welcome to the wedding, right? Yes, you heard me.
You better not show up. No ugly people allowed.
Fine. It was their final chance, but their responses were just as expected. So I decided to execute the plan. No mercy. I had a voice recorder in my hand, and I started contacting all the people who were willing to help with my aunt. And
Sarah, call up your Aunt Mary and Uncle Kevin. No one is showing up to the wedding and they aren't picking up their phones. Maybe they're lost. So give them the directions.
I got a call on the day of the wedding from my panicking mother.
Why isn't anyone here?
I could hear Lisa screaming in the back. I looked at my aunt, and we just laughed. Oh, that's too bad. I'm not sure what's happening, but everyone's here.
Yeah, we're eating sushi together. Stop bothering us. Huh? What are you talking about? Today is Lisa's wedding. What are you doing, Meredith? You were invited too. Why aren't you here? Bring everyone and come right now.
All I did was let all of my relatives hear the horrible things that my mother and Lisa said. My mother had been like that her whole life, always making fun of Team Ugly and talking down on her relatives. So, all the relatives who had bad past experiences with my mother got angry at how they didn't invite me to the wedding and agreed to help us teach them a lesson. And they all boycotted the wedding.
Ugly people aren't allowed in the wedding, right? Well, we all figured that we were too ugly for Lisa's wedding.
So, we decided not to go.
You've always been harsh on us for our looks, but I can't believe that you've been treating your own daughter like that too. Shame on you.
I don't think I'll be keeping in touch anymore. The other side is furious. They might try to call off the marriage. Please, you all have to come now.
We decided to continue our sushi party, and no one went to the wedding. One of my cousins went as a spy and sent us a picture of my mother apologizing on her knees to Eric's parents, and Lisa looking like a ghost with her messed up makeup from crying too much. We all had a good laugh. A few days later, I went with my aunt to Eric's house to apologize. First, they were shocked to find out that Lisa had a sister, and at the same time, they were angry at Lisa and my mother for lying to them about me. That ended up being the final blow, and Lisa's marriage was canceled.
It's all your fault, Sarah. Eric's trying to make me pay for the wedding fees. You better take responsibility for what you did and pay up.
Aren't you ashamed of trying to rely on your older sister who's too ugly to invite your own wedding? I'm done with you. Stay out of my life forever.
Kids are old enough now.
After the wedding was canceled, I was surprised to hear that my father just left the divorce papers on the table and walked out. According to my aunt, my father once got in an accident with my mother in the car and was pretty much forced into the marriage. The reason why he was always so compliant might have been from the guilt, she explained. Lisa ended up paying for the wedding from her share of the money that my father left us. But she never ended up getting a real job and kept overspending until she was so poor that she had to move into a rundown apartment. My mother tried relying on Lisa for help, but
I met the man of my dreams at this nightclub.
Lisa left town. And my mother, who was a housewife for so many years, ended up getting a part-time job and could be seen in town walking around like a zombie. I would have helped her out if she treated me decently. But oh well, I plan to live a long and happy life with Aunt Meredith. If I ever have children of my own, I'm going to love them all equally. I promise.